I ask for the truth on behalf of Olga Czenze concerning a lot of stress that she's been going through over the past few years. She's 64 years young and wonders whether it'll ever come to an end. And I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we cut the tarot there for you, Olga, and we'll just place the cards to the side, and I'll deal out 3 cards for you. We'll deal out 3 cards. First one is for the past, the next one is for the present, and then of course the future there, past, present, and future. In this particular case, it's the recent past influence, the present influence, and the immediate future influence. In the sense of the recent past and the immediate future are about a moon phase apart, aren't they? About a moon phase behind 28 days ago, about a month, as you could call it, whereas the future is about a month ahead, about 28 days, 4 to 5 weeks or so into the immediate future, in the sense of not too far ahead that we can't deal with. But we've got to see what the situation's all about, all this stress, you say. I normally wouldn't have really felt drawn to that. Maybe that's the reason I'm doing it, because I felt drawn to it, because normally I would have probably deleted the message because from the free psychic readings group on Facebook, and he's banned him because he didn't seem to give any insight into the cause of the stress. A lot of people seem to say, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through hell, I'm going through torment, it's destroying my life. But they don't say what it is that's doing it. And it doesn't help, because sometimes if you want guidance on something, it does help to say what you need guidance about, doesn't it? I mean, a lot of things can destroy, upset us and cause stress. But whatever it is that's causing stress with you there, Olga, let's investigate further to see what Spirit has to say about that. We're dealing with Crow Spirit. Crow is king in this deck, in this tarot deck, as you can see. And we're just going to pull out the first card to see what the energy is. We'll just flip it nice and slowly, not to disturb its energy. And then we'll just see what it is. We've got a major arcana card here. We've got Death. Death is, of course, death is change, isn't it? Change is the effect of an act of love. All acts of love are pure joy. Die daily. Isn't that a profound statement, that, Olga? In this particular situation, we're talking about, of course, a major arcana card. You've got 2 decks in the tarot deck, as you know. It consists of 2. One is the first 22 major arcana, which is the esoteric deck, which is really the deck that came before the minor arcana, which is the 56 minor arcana, which is part of your 52 playing cards, and you wouldn't play with them if you knew what they were. In the sense of they take the 4 cavaliers out, the 4 knights, or in the Crowley sense, they take the 4 princes out, and you're left with the 52, aren't you? Of course, the Fool, which is a major arcana card. You haven't got it here. I mean, I don't know if these 2 are one of them. I don't know, but the Fool is the Joker in the pack, or the Joker in the pack is the Fool. Often in a lot of playing card decks, they probably give you two, don't they? So you can place one on either side to protect the deck or whatever. I don't know, but of course, the Fool is a card in its own right. But anyway, putting aside the playing card side of it, and the poker and all that sort of thing, is we're not doing here. Let's just focus on what's going on here, or in the sense right now, what's been going on. In the sense, this Major Arcana card, Death is end, isn't it? And of course, when things end, things change, don't they? They, like, say for example, when mother dies, or when somebody in the family dies, things change. We have to do things, we have to learn to cope without whoever it is around us anymore. If the husband dies, or whatever it is, we have to learn to cope. And in that sort of sense, as though with Crowley, the Crowley deck is the Reaper with the Scythe, which is the traditional side of it, but he's hanging from the threads of life, and he's cutting the threads of life with the scythe, as if life itself is the very essence of death, because without life you can't have death. But birth and death, I suppose, come as part of life. It's all part of the same thing. Notice here we've got the serpent now, the serpent that sheds its skin, symbolising, of course, rebirth, in the sense as one thing finishes, another thing comes to an end. For as sudden as it can be, in this particular case death, as sudden as it can be and come upon us, nevertheless, it sometimes like some change, like a serpent can have a nasty bite, can't it? And I get this sort of feeling that just recently maybe something has ended abruptly and had a nasty bite. Maybe something has ended in the sense of you realise you can't do the certain things you could do before, maybe, and it's ended. You just can't do it anymore. And any chance of being able to do that, that's it. And the thing that may be stressing, I don't know what's been stressing you out. I mean, you're saying you're 64 young, you're 64 years young there. So there's a bit of life within you yet, isn't there? I suppose, as I suppose there is with all of us, but there's something has come to an end. Something has changed rapidly over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. It's come to like a crescendo. It's crescendo, doesn't it? If is that the right word that we could use? I want to pull out the next card here. I want to see what Crow has to say. Crow is king in the Londermarks Crow's Magic Tarot. Let us just reveal what this is here. Notice there we've got the Knight of Swords. That's got like a sort of Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Is it Libra to sort of energy to it there? Swords. Notice here we've got a minor arcana energy. The major arcana energies indicate that really you can't really change anything. You've got no power to change it. Yes, you still have choices to cope with it, but you've got no power to change it. And you over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, it indicates it's been like a permanent thing, a permanent fixture, in the sense you've had no power to change it. Just like I suppose we all grow older, time moves forward, we can't put it back and have another go or anything. That's it. And it's a similar sort of thing there. Whatever's happened, that's been it. You've had no say in it, or you've had a say, I suppose, but either way, you've had no power to change it. It just is, and that's it. And right now, of course, although right now with the the minor arcana energy, you do have power to change it. Yes, you had choices even then what to do and how to cope with it, but now you do have power to change things. Because it's a minor arcana energy. The Knight of Swords. Swords is to do with an element, the element of air. Because you sweep the sword through the air, and it's to do with, that's to do with communication, isn't it? It's to do with creative and transmissive powers. And the Knight is also to do with the element of air as well. So you could say like the airy part of air, or communication through itself, through creativity or whatever. This particular deck though tends to focus right now in the sense of a sort of like a longing for, a hunger, as if you have good intent, or you intend to do something because of what's happened. You intend to do something, but what? We don't know. And it's like as if there's no leaves on the branches there, as if you're left sort of in a barren place. It's as if the Reaper has literally cleared it and created barren land. But nevertheless, for as much as it's cleared it, made barren land, it nevertheless, throughout that dark time, nevertheless, it's cleared a clear path for you ahead. So you can see ahead of you. Yes, you can look behind at the tombs of what's buried in those tombs and those things that are there, that are buried, I suppose, like I say, in that sense. But they're buried. You can't bring them back in the past. But you can learn from them. As you look back, you can learn from them and move forward. You intend to move forward, but you long for what? It's this longing for. Notice the blue there of the throat chakra. I wonder if that's something to do with the fact that it's the airy part of, and it's to do with the creativity, the communication side of it. I wonder if that's what it's to do with. Let's just see what the immediate future has to hold here. We'll just flip this card over here, and we'll just see what that is. You've got the another Knight, the airy part of, but this time it's the airy part of Earth. Earth, because it's the Knight of Coins, as you can just see there. The Knight of Discs, as Crowley calls it. This is, I suppose, in a way, a sort of knowledge sort of based thing as well. But in this case, you've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn going on there. I suppose sort of fiery, well, not fiery, but certainly. With Taurus, I don't even notice with Taurus, if Taurus doesn't get what he wants, he can be like a raging bull. But in this particular case, he does tend to focus on notice there, the bird spirits there. Notice all birds here. What are birds all about? Well, the birds carry the messages from the heavens to the earth, so they are thought to be the guides. Their spirits, their collective spirits are thought to be the guides. It's like a hawk, isn't it, there? As if indicating focus in some way. Focus on maybe your priorities. Put aside all distractions and just focus on your priorities. And of course, notice, with it being the airy part of Earth, of course it's the creative and transmissive powers of the physical vehicle, isn't it? Communicating with the physical. Right now, we will have done with the moment we're just doing what we intend to do or what we feel we want from this. We're just longing for it right now. But manifestation comes by focus on priorities, putting aside distractions, and of course that creates an anchor, doesn't it? It creates some sort of essence, some sort of physical manifestation, as we say there, and it means that it's literally that. It creates some sort. It means you can be grounded, anchored. You can be grounded. Maybe from a financial point of view, if it's knowledge, if it's seeking more knowledge. Maybe you're longing more knowledge, more insight, but instead of knowledge from the intellectual side of it, given that what's just happened, maybe people are dying on you, literally. Maybe the death is the fact that it's a literal death, that people are dying on you, friends are dying, relatives, and you're looking at photographs and you're saying, bloody hell, there's me in that photograph, and there's only two out of those 5 people there, there's only 2 who are alive, and one of them's me. Can't believe it, can you? And maybe this is what you sort of noticing, I don't know. But of course, usually death just recently indicates death of the old, beginning of the new. Maybe that's what it is, having a nasty bite. The stresses of the past few years, maybe that's what it is, and it's had a nasty bite. But nevertheless, it can be rejuvenation in the sense of rebirth as well, because a serpent sheds its skin, leaves the old behind as a memory of what it used to be, part of, but it moves on. And in the sense, you want to move on, but you're caught up, you long for it, you hunger after, but in the next 3 or 4 weeks or so, you will be able to manifest that as you focus. As Crow sends Hawk to help you focus, Crow is there now helping you to communicate, and of course Eagle was there just recently, sort of really helping you to listen to your higher self, because that's all you could do when you got no power over anything. But Crow is king here, and Crow is saying that he's going to send Hawk to help you focus more, to manifest something physical out of whatever it is, and that's a bit like when you plough a field and you plant the seed. You don't see anything for ages and you say, what's going on here? And then you see a few shoots, but you're still not satisfied, and then all of a sudden, after a while, you get the harvest and you think, that was worth it. And I get this sort of sense here, as though for as much as the darkness is there, and even for as dark as it may be, at the end of it, at least you will be more focused to see yourself through it. You'll be able to learn to cope with it. It's learning to cope, isn't it? Nobody wants to get over it. Nobody expects you to get over this. This is what I'm sensing here. There, Olga, I'm sensing nobody expects you to get over it. We don't even expect you to cope, but it would be nice you to cope as best as you can do. You can't do any better than your best, can you? You can't do any better than your best. Well, I'm learning to cope. Oh, well, that's what it is. Yes, I'm learning to cope, if you don't mind. Well, wouldn't you have got over it by now? No, I don't want to get over it, but I'm learning to cope with it. It's stressing me out, yes it is, because it's not like how it used to be. Before this, what happened placed me in this position. But nevertheless, I'm learning to cope with it. And Hawk is there helping me to focus, helping me to manifest, helping me to focus on my priorities. My priorities, I suppose, is my sanity, my mental health, and maybe my health in general, which would suffer if I were to sort of let myself go. But if I can focus on something, focus on what my priorities, put aside my distractions, the things that I can't do anything about, or the distractions that other people try and say, snap out of it, pull yourself together. I can put that aside, and I can focus on the priority, which is me. Because if I can't focus on me, who can? But Crow is the healer, and Crow is the carrier of souls from darkness into light, Olga. Crow is the carrion crow. Eats up all the dead flesh, doesn't he? He's a bit like the garbage man of nature. How he cleans up nature and heals. And this is what Crow wants to do with you. He wants to carry you out of this darkness that you were in just recently, and he wants to bring you through into the light. But there's a longing for that you hunger after right now. Whatever you intend, whatever you want from this, you are looking forward. Notice he's looking forward, not away to the past. He's looking forward, away. Death is looking back. Notice that there. How death looks back, as if death, and now the hunger and longing is they're looking away from one another. They're parting and moving forward, and then Hawk looks directly at you. Maybe this is a thing you should not really with if Hawk is your power totem. For example, with any power animal totem, you know that you do not follow them. Do not follow them in expectation that they will take the lead. Don't expect them to follow you in the expectation that you will take the lead. You must walk beside them. This is what you must do. Walk beside your spirit guide, whoever he is. I want to just shuffle these power animal oracle cards here to just see further what else Crow may have to say, what Raven may have to offer here, Olga. I just want to pull out 3 cards here just to see. Notice the Ganesha, the elephant god there. Of course, saying that you're going to overcome you have overcome an obstacle in some way, shape or form. You have overcome something. Maybe the change has allowed you to do that. You have overcome it, and of course, although you've got the longing for and the hunger after and the desire, although there's barren land now, nevertheless you can see over it, can't you? Because there's nothing in the way now, because it's barren land. It's sort of metaphorically giving you foresight, and you're able to see what's ahead, aren't you? For the future. So in a way that's a positive thing, isn't it? Really. What about this focus, this Hawk? What's going on here? Raven there himself. As we know, Crow is king. Raven speaks and just tells you to own your power. He's the magic who can guide you and heal you, and he's sandy. So it's true that Crow, Raven, even Raven there is coming to carry you through this. A bit like that footprints poem thing, where when you see one set of footprints you think it's your own, and it isn't. It's the footprints of the one who's carrying you, you daft thing. So just think of that and bear that in mind. And just bear in mind that Raven and Crow are there to guide you also. So with that, I think we know, don't we, Olga, that these cards, for now, have spoken.